I am so that person who really never wants to ask for any help. I became that way because I got used to, as a child, kind of being forgotten, not really seen, and if I did ask for help, that feeling of rejection. So over time, I just became very independent. I would say definitely pushed me into more of my masculine, where I just never wanted to ask anybody to help me because that way I didn't have to deal with the rejection or the disappointment of them not wanting to help me or not caring enough, because I'm a really caring person. I'm a really giving person. And I realized that, my expectation of people was that they would do the same, especially given what I do for them. But over my course of my life and professional too, like, I found that when I pour into people, mentor people, teach people, love people, care for people, that I should not expect the reciprocation. Like, if I do it because I want to do it, because it feels right to do it. And, but I say that with the fact that I've also learned that you cannot keep pouring into people who do not pour into you, because it's not sustainable. Even though at my core, y'all, like, I would give and give and give to everybody, my family, my kids, everyone, and there was nothing left. But that is a distortion. That is unhealthy. That is choosing, codependency, or the appearance of unity over truth, which is that the people in my life should be reciprocating and pouring back into me, especially if they're close to me. And so my message today is, don't be afraid to ask for help. And if the answer is no, then okay, that's okay, accept it. Try not to get really upset about it. It might be that that person at their life might not just be in a position to help, and so listen and be understanding. But if you know that they're in a position to help and you understand how much you've done for them and they're not reciprocating, then you know who, what, and where to gravitate to in terms of giving your energy. You can't keep giving energy to someone who keeps taking your energy and not trying to fill your cup in the way that you need. That's today's word. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the Mother. Y'all, I got to the point where when I got diagnosed with MS, or even leading up to it, I was standing strong and not asking for help. Like, real talk. I mean, like, I had expectations for my girls, as teenagers, but like, even then, like, I wasn't communicating in a way that I should. But when I think the first time I can really think about is when I was pregnant with the twins, and I was so big I couldn't walk. I had to lean on my sisters to help me. And also, when I got diagnosed with MS, like, my whole world had to slow down tremendously. I had to reduce the stress. I had to eat differently. I was having vertigo. My vision was going in and out. My ability to walk was being impacted. My spine, my hands, my ability to hold things. When I had a massive flare-up, July 2024. And my boyfriend, my sister Monty, and like my kids, I had to ask for them. And it was rocky at first because people were so used to me just giving, and not really asking. And at the same time, I was challenged because I have this distortion of, kind of like, as an empathetic or empath, to just, in terms of my compassion, I just give to everyone, and to the point where it would reduce me. So I had never really had practiced or had tried to properly communicate to the people around me. And I found myself during that time getting super mad because, like, another thing about MS is you get fatigue, and it's debilitating fatigue. Like, I'm not talking about being tired, I'm talking about not being able to move your body level fatigue. You hear me? And so I found myself with bouts of like super anger. Like, when I was on the couch trying to take care of the twin boys, and I would get struck with one of those fatigue bouts where there was so much to do, but people in the house weren't doing what they were supposed to do. And by people, I mean my kids, okay, y'all? They weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing, their chores. And so, like, things that I could have traditionally picked up the slack on for their chores and things, laundry that they're supposed to be doing, like, things were just piling up and were dirty. And like, I just was so upset with them for not supporting me. All they were doing was criticizing everything in terms of choices and decisions I was making in my life. But none of them, or my kids and my niece, like, my sister was, A1, like, keeping it down in terms of support, taking care of the kids and cleaning, cooking, like, but like, they were not, they were not. And I had to be honest with everyone. Like, I don't want the bare minimum effect. Like, we should not, if my philosophy is I give above and beyond to make sure that you're okay, and I'm including, like, I expect everyone to do the same for me. So if that means that I'm going to be running late from work, I don't want to hear anybody's mouth about taking care of the boys. That means if I have a fatigue bout, it should be no problem for someone to step in to take care of the boys and let me go lay down till I get my bearings. And I didn't even understand, y'all. And like, I'm doing this Lemurian, like, Mu. I'm focusing on Mu right now, doing the grid work. I created some laws, which I'm going to share when I share the first grid work for Mu, which is focusing on Fiji. But what I realized is, like, oh my gosh, like, this is a distortion that I've had, and it's a cycle that I never really knew about myself, where, I give and give and give, but it kind of comes codependent. It's like it's in codependency, or because I want to make sure that the people who love me, that I keep them close to me, so I don't speak up. I haven't kept my boundaries, and I haven't asked for help because I was afraid from my childhood and maybe lifetimes, maybe I'm from Lemuria, of how that pure love you can get distorted through grief or guilt, definitely guilt for me because of my past bad relationships and my kids going through it, that lingering over me, like. And so I am coming out of a major cycle. So like I said, these words, y'all, it's pretty much like y'all are like in the journey with me. Like, so I'm not talking at you, I'm talking with you. Like, one point I can tell you that I'm doing, if you also have the same kind of issue in terms of asking for help, or, I give, but I have a problem receiving, is to do the spiral work. So, like, y'all, I released a meditation. You probably have to go down on my page to find it, but it's a woman sitting and it has a spiral in the middle. Do that. Do that breath work. Do that spiral breath work. And like, literally, when you breathe in, imagine spiral coming in, and then when you breathe out, imagine that it's a spiral, but it's all the density, all your blocks, all the barriers that are just getting released in a spiral coming out. I'm also going to be releasing, probably tomorrow morning, what I call a joy meditation. So do that one too, to help you. It's helping me, y'all. This whole spiral joy, getting rid of grief is amazing. I'll be coming out probably next week with a grief, like how to deal with grief meditation. But, we have to ask because we deserve it. It's about reciprocity. Shalane Tukai, Vanari Shakai. I love y'all. Peace.